Let's take a look at getting power to your RV once you're set up at the campground. The first thing you're going to want to do is locate your power inlet on the side of the camper. Your power inlet will look very similar to this. When you open that power inlet, you'll see the power cord connection. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take your power cord, which is provided to you day of delivery, and you're going to simply insert the power cord, twist it to lock it, and then it has a securing ring that you twist into the power inlet. After that, you head over to the pedestal and make sure you got power coming out of the pedestal box. Let's go check it out. Here at the pedestal, the first thing that you're going to do is bring the other end of that power cord and connect it to the appropriate connection on the pedestal box. In this case, we have a 50 amp power cord, and it will only match to the 50 amp connection. There are other connections in case your camper is equipped with a different power cord, such as a 20 amp or a 30 amp connector. So again, in this case, we do have a 50 amp. So we're going to simply insert the other end of the power cord that we've already connected to the trailer and connect it to the 50 amp circuit on the pedestal. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that breaker is turned on. So currently it's in the off position, and you will simply grab the bar, push it forward to the on position, and then we head inside of the camper and make sure we got power. Let's check it out. So the best place to check to make sure that the power is coming into your camper after you plug it in at the pedestal and verify that the breaker's on is the microwave. So when you open the microwave, you should either see a light on in the microwave, or you could also check the display panel and make sure that the display panel is lit up. What you want to make sure of is not assuming that the power is on because you have lights or switches that are lighting up. Sometimes those components are wired into the 12-volt circuit, which is completely separate from the pedestal that we just plugged into. In fact, let's go up to the battery and I can kind of walk you through what that looks like next. Traditionally on travel trailers, bumper pulls, the battery is going to be located near or right behind the propane tank. In this case, it's right on the front of the trailer, right behind the propane tank, easily accessible by removing the battery cover cap. If you don't see the battery located here, you'll want to next look towards the front compartment or side compartments nearest to the front of the trailer. And on fifth wheels, they're usually underneath the pin box, also at the front of the trailer. Once you locate the battery, you want to make sure that the battery is connected. It's really simple to see because you will have a positive and negative terminal connection, and you'll want to make sure that those ends are attached to the battery and that the nut is fastened to the bolt coming out of the top of the battery. If it's not connected, you would want to make sure to identify the wires, whether they're positive or negative wires, and then connect them to the battery at that point. Once the battery is connected, you can put the lid back on, like so, and then you can make sure that your battery disconnect switch is turned on. Again, this battery disconnect switch is located right at the front of the camper. This is a traditional style switch. Some of them can look a little bit different, but most of them will be labeled as battery disconnect. And it's a simple twist of a knob, and there's an off and on display selected. Now when you're plugged in at the campsite or plugged in using the camper, you want to always make sure that that battery disconnect switch is in the on position. You would want to turn it off if you're not going to be using the camper. So if you plan on storing the camper for more than a week, it's usually best to come to this location, turn that disconnect off to make sure that that 12-volt battery is not constantly being drained while you're not using the camper. You'll also want to do the same thing for your 120-volt connection that we talked about previously. So when you're not using the camper, there's no point to leave it plugged in and drawing power. Some of the campers that we sell are equipped with generators. So in the event that you're not at a campground and you don't have a pedestal to get power, you can turn the generator on. Let's take a look at what a generator looks like and how to turn it on. So this unit has a generator located in the front compartment. If you remove the service cover, you will see a start-stop switch here, and you will also see two breakers. Now every generator is a little different. They're not all the same. Some may have one breaker, some will be 50 amp, some will be 30 amp. But we're going to show you how this one works. So first, I'm going to prime the generator. and there is a button located here that says prime on it. You simply press and hold that button until the switch lights up. Once that switch lights up, you can release it, and then you press and hold the start button until the generator starts. Once the generator has started, you'll make sure that the breakers are turned on the generator. You'll put the cover back on, and again, you only want to use generator power when you don't have your shore cord connected. So let's take a look. The next thing you want to make sure, and you'll want to do this before you start it, of course, you have to make sure that however the generator consumes fuel, that fuel cell source is available. So if it's a propane generator, you'll have to make sure your propane's turned on. If it's a gas generator, you'll have to make sure you have gasoline. Let's go inside and I'll show you the switch on the inside of the camper that you can start and stop the generator just like we did outside. So this particular switch panel is located in the bedroom, right above the bed. Doesn't always have to be located there. So keep in mind, each manufacturer will set up that switch if it's prepped for generator, wherever they choose. So in this case, it's very close to the generator. Sometimes it might be nearest to the control panel, and it may even be in the kitchen. So once you locate the switch, it's very simple to use. It will work just like the exterior switch. So you can press and hold the stop button to turn it off. When you're ready to start it, you would do the same sequence. You will press and hold to prime until the switch illuminates. You will release the switch, press and hold the start until the generator starts. Once it starts, you can release it. The last thing you want to make sure of, much like we did when we plugged the camper in to pedestal power, is you'll want to make sure that the power's come on. And so if you remember, the place to check, at your microwave. So the generator will have a short time delay. It usually lasts about 60 seconds, and you may have just heard the microwave beep while I was talking. So what will happen is, after that time delay clears, and the generator's been running for 60 seconds, the power will come into the camper. So you'll open the microwave and make sure that the light's on, or that your display's on. And then you're good to go.